Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. Today we're at Wings Over America and there is some amazing flying going on. Make sure you stick around. I've got plenty of flight video and we're going to have an interview with Extreme Flight. So hang tight and enjoy the video.
That's amazing skill.
I'm going to come talk to the Full Throttle RC guys here on the flight line. This is Neil Capalora flying the 114-inch slick. Very pretty. And I believe this aircraft is actually available from Full Throttle RC. All So if somebody would like to be the proud owner of this airplane, they should come talk to you guys.
Absolutely. Donnie will even remove the Ohio State sticker that's on it, so don't feel like that has to stay on there.
I think you guys may need to have a meeting about that. You're getting some mixed signals here. All right, thanks, guys. Northwest RC has been run by the Hastines family for several years. They did an outstanding, amazing, fantastic job building that business into a premier retailer on the West Coast. And they did such a good job that we decided we wanted to join forces. So in the fall, we completed a merger, and Tim Hastines became the general manager of Extreme Flight RC for our global brand. And so now we have Timmy Hastines, the team pilot. We are enjoying it. Flying really well. He's flying our 104 Laser V2 in the red, white, and blue scheme with a GA120
Ooh.
JR8911 servos.
Hello YouTube, we're in Georgia, the Anderson Field area at the Extreme Flight Wings Over America event, and I'm here with Tim, who's one of the sponsors. He's now with Extreme Flight, and his son Tim as well. And we're just gonna spend a few minutes talking a little bit about the event, maybe talking a little bit about what's going on and what's coming up at Extreme Flight. So with that said, I wanna just start out with Tim and ask a quick question about the event.
Last year actually marked the 20th anniversary of the founding of Extreme Flight, and so that was our big 20X event that we had. That was the first year of Wings Over America, which we wanted it to be a fun event. We wanted to bring people from regardless of the brand, whether it was Extreme Flight or whether it was anybody else out there, and bring them into one place that we love. This is the world famous Hodges field, where it's a legacy field that's been around for decades.
Beautiful field.
Oh, and if you've never been here, it is a bucket list field. So we chose to do that here because there's a history between Extreme Flight and Hodges. We're actually standing in the original Hodges hobby room, which if you needed anything giant scale for decades, this is where you came. Before there was website, before there was mail order, I mean, like, you came to Hodges Hobby to get your giant scale needs. So he hung it up a couple years ago, and now he does all of his full scale stuff here. Behind us is the RV that he left for Sun and Fun yesterday. He rolled it right out the door in the middle of the event. See you guys, departs, does his thing, comes back, and it's great. At 80 something years old, he
Nice.
Still has the love for it. So
That's
yeah,
great.
it's great.
So the event is 3D, a lot of 3D planes, obviously, that's the business, but people come from everywhere. I saw jets today, I saw some quads whipping around, so it's just kind of a fun fly.
It is an open fly sort of thing, and we encourage people to come from all over. Not everybody can make it to a huge event like a Joe Knoll or some of the little regional 3D only. So while it is like 3D focus, because that's what we sell to, we also have our legacy aircraft with I don't know if you saw our giant biplanes out there. They're DA200 powered. Started off as a Waco that we've modified slightly to get better aerobatics out of it. We kind of hail to a little bit of everything, and not just the planes themselves, but we supply basically everything to get anything in the air, whether it's the engines, the accessories. We have our product lines, and now that we've done the merger between Northwest RC and Extreme Flight, we've combined those resources to become this mega company that really can scratch all the different itches, and doubled our diversified our line as far as for what we carry. So yeah,
You guys flat out have the best sport portfolio available, period, and 3D portfolio.
Yeah.
I've looked. So
Yeah.
you guys have the best.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really excited to see what happens with the merger. So here's the big question.
Sure.
Skywing's coming, right?
Sure.
Skywing?
Yeah, Skywing is actually just about here. We're, one of the projects is, Extreme Flight had like a legacy website that it's worked.
Yeah.
It's been functional. Was it great? It did the job, but we're trying to update that. And in the process, we want to introduce the Skywing products so that they're easy to find, update the catalog for the parts and the recommendations, and that's going to be a lot of work. So while the product is here, we really want to make sure it's the best first impression when we do launch it.
Yeah.
While we've had it for the last 4 years out at Northwest, and we've got the system that works there, now it's just going to be merging the two. I mean, when we say merger, it's merging the inventory streams, the websites, the pilots, everything that goes with it. So
You guys have done a great job of communications. I've followed you the whole time, so I know exactly what's going on. It's been great. So I think communication's been great.
Cool.
So new planes, that was one of the things that goes on here. Tell me a little bit. I saw the Raven out there. I know a lot of people are interested in that. What else can you tell us?
Well, Raven is one of those projects. Cody Wojcik actually came down from the Northeast down for the event. So, he designed it. He's gone through a couple different iterations. He had yet to fly the final production one. So we had one here. We can probably get you some clips of it if you
I got it. I got it.
Oh, good.
I'll put some overlay in this interview, and I'll show it flying.
It's fantastic.
Very
it's
cool.
an 88-inch Raven. We launched that platform with a 69-inch turbo Raven built around a 6S 5000 power combo. And it's one of those things where people, they didn't know what to do with it. It had a real light wing loading, like a lot of, some of the real classic 3Ds, but it had the ability to be like agile and nimble, and people didn't really know what to make of it. So while it's been out for about 4.5 years, the sales have kind of gone like this, and people get it, don't get it. Now they're just starved for more Ravens. So we'll be working on an update to that. And so while that's in the works, this new 88 is going to come out, and the 88 is awesome. It's huge. It's even better. It features all the new CNC wing attachments, canopy attachments, and we've got it with a 12S X-Power combo on there, 12S 5000, and it's great. So
That's awesome. It's a beautiful looking plane.
Oh yeah.
All right, so speaking of big planes, I saw that young man flying, and I got to tell you, man, you have some. I'm just starting to learn some 3D stuff, so I watch you, and I'm like, God, good Lord. Tell us about your flying. When did you start? Tell us what you're doing. And by the way, I love your airplane choice. That laser is one of my favorites. It's an awesome airplane. So tell me about that.
I've been flying for about 6 or 7 years.
How old are you?
I'm 14.
So half your life you've been flying.
Yeah.
Nice. How did you learn flying 3D? How did that work? How did you?
So how did it start? At first, I didn't really know what to think about RC, and my dad, he kind of started doing it when I was born. So I was around it mostly my whole life. So he kind of introduced it to me when I was like 5, and he gave me like a little night vapor, if you know what that is.
Yep.
And then
Oh yeah.
I flew that around the house. I flew it like basically everywhere. I loved
Across
it.
the dinner table.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And then I got a little helicopter. It was just, yeah, and that just learned the stick movement, how to use the rudder and all that. And then he introduced me to the Twisted Hobbies Yak, which was great. I loved that, and I flew that. And then I had it for about a year or so, and I crashed it, and I just kept on flying it. And then he introduced me to it was probably a 105-inch slick, which was like a big
that's a
step.
big jump, yeah.
There was a step in between. He went from flying foamies around, because I mean, you know, really he only remembers the last 6 or 7 years, but I mean, like on his first birthday, we crashed that same night vapor into his head. He got a scar right there on, like, at his birthday party, and my wife's like, "Are you kidding me?" So, you know, it's in his blood. He's been around it. Again, you know, I quit doing all the other, you know, high energy stuff I used to do and got into RC when he was born, when the wife said, "Hey dummy, you got mouths to feed. So if you break, we got problems." So
I'm a licensed pilot. My wife said the same thing.
Yeah.
We first got married. I said, "I'm gonna go fly," and she said, "Well, you're gonna what now?"
yeah, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, but no.
So how often do you fly? That's another. How much time do you put in?
It honestly depends, because during winter I'll usually take a foamy and fly it in my backyard, or if it's like summer, probably, or when Dad's around, like once, maybe 1 through 5 times a month. So not a lot, but it just depends, honestly.
Like all teenagers, it's hard to get motivated, but once he's at the field, it's like, dude, we got to go home, man. We've been here for 9 hours, whatever.
Dad's tired.
Yeah.
Get my feet up.
Getting him to the field, he's like, "I'm so tired. Can I sleep?" But no, once he gets out there, and you know, again, he's at that age where he just learns so quickly.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's been fortunate on the West Coast to grow up, you know, going to these events with him, because, you know, the COVID years, right, were kind of weird, and it's like there was no in-person school, so they had their laptops, and so guess what? Anywhere we had a hotspot was the classroom. So during those 2 years, he went with me to all the big events on the West Coast, the Colorado events. He went to Joe Nall a couple times, and so, you know, because of, you know, our affiliations and our friendships with all these like pro pilots, like he really got to get mentored by like the Santiagos and the Bryants and the Jaces and the, you know, everybody, the Spencers. And so if you watch his flying style, there's a lot of all those different influences. There's a little bit of the old man in him too, you know, but, you know, I've got my style of, you know, classic kind of old balls, you know, 3D sort of thing. So, yeah.
Well, keep it up. The old guys love seeing the young guys doing as well as you're doing, because you're the future of the hobby. And we love to see young guys and young girls get involved in fly. So you're doing a great job. It's fun to watch you fly. Keep it up. I hope to see a lot more of your material.
What got me today at one point, you know, because, you know, I'm always shooting content for them and everything like that. But then, and people, you know, always, you know, getting video of me and like our peers and everything. But to watch these little kids were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Timmy," and they're out there with their phones watching Timmy. I was like, "Oh my gosh, the torch has been passed," and it's really cool to see. So,
it is. It is good to see, and you're doing great. It's fun, very fun to watch you fly. I know a lot of us wish we had your skill, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So what's next for Extreme? You got the merger. It's kind of wrapped up now. You're over here on the East Coast. So tell us what's happening, you know, what's coming down the pike.
The wheels are in motion. Last weekend, I was back in Washington. We actually closed the physical shop. We got the warehouse, you know, broken down, which, you know, it's easier said than done. The wife is still picking up the pieces. We've got it in storage lockers. A lot of that stuff is going to transition here to, you know, what's left of our inventory will transfer into the Extreme Flight inventory, and then it'll all go live. But man, there's so much more to launch. You know, what was cool about, you know, at Northwest, I ran it basically as, you know, the kind of place I'd want to shop from. So, you know, if there was a need, you know, my wife's like, "Please don't buy 100 wide, buy 500, you know, and then we'd have that product for the US, you know, because if I needed it, someone else probably needed it too. We try to make a one-stop shop we're trying to bring that into extreme flight also. So
okay, the plug and plays, that to me was the big splash,
man.
and I got to tell you, I just did a video on it and I'm blown away.
Yeah.
So first off, you got a pretty quality airframe with Skywing. I know you've been working with them.
Yep.
And the hardware, that's the one that really set the hook for me, because it's not, a lot of times in the PNP space, you see an attempt, but it's not quite there.
Yeah.
It doesn't match.
Yep.
Your equipment choices and what went in that airframe, match the airframe, good quality stuff, good quality. And price-wise, you have it. I did the math before you even advertised it, and I said it needs to be around $1,000. And lo and behold, it hit I was blown away. I couldn't wait to get that plane. So tell us what's going on in the PNP space.
Well, you know, really with that plug and play, plug and fly, you know, the idea was, you know, historically that product goes to some of these larger distributors, and they're hitting a profit margin.
Yeah.
So it often goes to the lowest bidder, and realistically, the percentage of failures out of the box was high. I use my experience as a modeler buying other people's stuff, going, that shouldn't be acceptable.
I'm remaking half the plane anyway.
Exactly, right? So we said, you know what, here's what we recommend anyway, let's put that into the plug and fly type stuff. And so, you know, it's all high end. I mean, we've kind of made it the way it should have been from day one, with, you know, high end motor, high end ESC that's made for it, all the hardware, all the arms. I mean, realistically, from if you buy the power combos, I mean, it's a couple hour build. If you get the plug and fly type stuff, I mean, it takes longer to unwrap than it takes to assemble.
That thing was wrapped
crazy.
Tight too.
Yeah. And it's all done right from the factory. They've actually adjusted the linkages so that way everything is centered and good geometry. I mean, it's really the way it should be, so that way they get the experience, they know it's right out of the box.
So what's coming? Can you tell us a little bit about what may be coming? Because
no.
I just saw a video on Skywing. It was a Skywing video, and they showed a 67-inch NG, so the white and blue.
Yep.
So it tells me there's probably some more things in the pipeline.
Like anything else, I had my, you know, I was cautious. You know what I mean? Like we have to look at everything as a small pile of money. You know, if we could jump in with both feet and it could go really well, or, you know, I would rather make sure it's right the first time, because, you know, we tested it for about a year, you know, off and on, a couple different places, a couple different variations before we actually rolled to production and started importing. And so, you know, there's limited plug and fly stuff now. We went with the laser on the 67 and the edge on the 67. The 60-inch we did the yak, and then we did the edge, I believe, and on the 48 we did the slick. The next round, those same things are going to be coming into Extreme Flight on their container that hits any day now.
Ooh.
Yeah, and goes live any day now. And then we've got a backup one to not only give us depth but diversify us. So you're going to see more of the plug and fly. We'll always have ARF, because people always have gear left over from a rekit, or maybe they're going to use some budget type stuff.
Or I like my motor better than your motor.
Yeah,
I get that.
yeah, absolutely. But you know, from the success of it, we know it works. Now, I mean, that's been the tip of the spear. You know, we've taken that success and we've actually, you know, we're developing some plug and fly type stuff with Extreme Flight also, and, you know, taking it to a next level. And by having the two top brands, they keep pushing each factory to get better and better, and everybody wins with it. So, yeah.
Well, you guys did amazing. That laser, as far as I'm concerned, was a home run. And I know the market said so too, because I saw how fast you ran out.
Oh, yeah.
And then the yellow ones were gone a day later.
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, that tells me everything I needed to know.
Yeah.
On my Patreon, I told the guys, hey, check this out.
Cool.
When they drop, you better get it, because they're going to go.
Do not waste time. Yeah,
they went,
yeah.
So. Hey guys, I really appreciate the time you took with me today. I know my viewers on YouTube will as well. Thanks for putting on the event. It was great. I had a great time. It was great to watch the flying, all the airplanes, the giveaways, the raffles. If you guys are in the area, Georgia, Florida, you need to get yourself planning to come over here next year, because this was a nice event. And I was only here for a few hours, but I can tell they had a good party last night, a lot of great flying, good food, nice raffle present. I mean, it was a nice event. I think you guys did a good job.
Yeah, no, it's like a big old family reunion. We get all these guys and we get all these new guys, and the family gets bigger and bigger. And we love these regional events like this. I mean, it really is these grassroots thing that, you know, build these bonds and you just, you know, spread the love.
Keep that hobby going.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate the work you put into it. I know you're breaking your back on this kind of stuff. I get it. So I appreciate the work. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Hope you guys have great success with Extreme Flight and the merger. I know it's going to be amazing. So we're looking forward to great things from you guys. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. Make sure to smash that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and a notification bell so you know new videos hit the channel. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy.